on clearing the clutter inside and out, we're talking about paying it forward. Do you focus on just you or your family during the holidays? Would you like an easy way to feel really good? Are you looking to spread some cheer this holiday season? Learn how to pay it forward as we finish our month focusing on the holidays.
Ready to clear your clutter and share your gifts with the world? Every Tuesday at 1 p.m., join award-winning professional organizer, author, and certified life coach Julie Coraccio on clearing the clutter inside and out, as she teaches you how to navigate the waters to declutter your life. Julie Coraccio destroys the box and examines clutter in all areas: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, relationships, health, finances, and more.
Today's episode was inspired because of Hurricane Florence. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we were really fortunate. At the beginning of flow, it looked like the eye of the storm was going to come right through Raleigh. And I haven't been nervous. I lived in Los Angeles 10 years with earthquakes, and this hurricane made me very nervous. We ended up being really fortunate. A lot of people on the coast not only lost their lives, but lost everything. Livestock died, pets died. But what inspired me throughout was that so many people and causes and organizations coming together. Up here in Raleigh, shelters were having people who weren't regular fosters foster pets so that they could bring more animals and help save them. They did the fostering temporarily so that that could allow for more animals to be saved. I love this great story. There was a pastor who went down, had a little boat, and went around saving animals. People really came together. I work out at Planet Fitness, and they are collecting items to take to people in the hurricane. And I said, well, how long are y'all going to do this? And they said, as long as people want to give. So I think that's really important, because when you have disaster strike, it's years usually before people are up on their feet again and things are somewhat back to normal. I don't think that they will ever be back to normal. I was just really inspired by seeing everyone pitch together, and I love it when we come together, because I think as a country, we have been divided for way too long. And another reason I wanted to do the podcast episode today, and I can't remember if I told this story or not. A couple years ago, I was kind of cranky and just wasn't feeling the gratitude. And if you've listened for a while, you know, I talk about having a daily gratitude practice, and I was just cranky. Life was not the way I was hoping it would be. And so I went to Harris Teeter, which is a local grocery store where I live, and there was a homeless man. And I said, come on in, let me buy you lunch. And so we're getting lunch. I said, what do you want, a sandwich? And I said, come on, let's get a side here. I said, you got to have a cookie, right? Everyone needs a cookie. Cookie always makes you feel better. And that day, he got lunch, but he got the short end of the stick, because I felt so wonderful. It felt so good to pay it forward and give to him. I came home crying and said to my husband, you know, we're so lucky. We sometimes forget how blessed we are each and every day. On another occasion, I have the artwork here. I can see it in my space. I was out at Walmart grabbing something, and there was this guy in the parking lot. He was selling art. He said, I've fallen on hard times. I'm trying to get back on my feet. And he said, you know, I don't want to just ask for money. I want to give something in return. So I purchased a painting, ended up having a great conversation with him. I think sometimes we forget. It's my view in this country that we demonize the poor, and I don't agree with that perspective. You know, in all walks of life, in all professions, there are people that stink. It is just a part of life. Try to view it as they're saying, okay, I want to be stinky this lifetime and see how it is. And so I am not someone that believes you can say like all lawyers are cheaters or all doctors or whatever. I don't believe in that. And so one of the things I try to be very aware of that and take each person as they are. And so one of my things is, again, I feel like we demonize the poor and say they're lazy, they don't do anything. And here was a guy like, look, I need a helping hand. And I love that. And to me, that was a small way. And I don't even know if I'd call that paying it forward because I purchased art from him. With the end of the year coming up and the holidays, I'm going to encourage you to get outside of yourself and pay it forward. Again, this doesn't have to be like the huge car on Oprah moment. I think sometimes we think we have to do these big things. Every little thing makes a difference. Please don't forget that. You'll probably end up feeling really great like me and better than the person that you paid it forward to. If you've done it, you're like, wow, I supported someone, and that feels fantastic. You might also want to check out the 2000, it came out in 2000, Pay It Forward. No warning, this does have Kevin Spacey. I don't know where he stands on all the allegations, but I'm just putting that out there in case you need to know that. I also did an interview, a few years ago on my channel. It'll be on the YouTube channel under Julie Coraccio when I did the internet TV show Reawaken Your Brilliance with a guy named Charlie Johnson. And the whole interview is about paying it forward. And Charlie, I know, is still continuing on that front. That's what he's all about, paying it forward. So if you want to dig a little deeper, those are some things you might want to check out. No act is too small, as it all adds up. Be open to opportunities to pay it forward. They're out there. I suggest that you give freely without expecting anything in return, because then you're really paying it forward. Like when I gave the guy the sandwich and brought him lunch, I had no expectations. He said thank you. I could tell he really appreciated it. But if he didn't, I would have still brought him the lunch. And I wouldn't have been like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that the guy didn't do that. My brother tells this story when we were out both working in Los Angeles. He used to take a bag of bread and a jar of peanut butter and a jar of jelly, and he'd go in the ocean. They could walk to the ocean where he worked and make peanut butter and jelly. And he's offered it to a homeless guy who refused him, didn't think that the peanut butter and jelly was good. And, and he tried to pay it forward and it didn't work out, and that's okay. And I encourage you, if that happens, don't let it dampen your spirit. Remember, what others do and say is about them. What you do is about you. We find the true joy when we don't focus on getting anything in return. And I'm going to give you some examples of ways you can pay it forward, but have fun with this. This is one of those episodes that I'm hoping just brings you incredible joy, but that you can have fun and get creative with it. Here are my suggestions. Be polite. I think we've lost a lot of this. Hold open the door. Let someone cut in front of you in line or at the post office. Let a car get in your lane. Simply being polite, I think, is a huge way to pay it forward. Don't text and drive. We were coming back from the gym today, and this guy was literally, I thought, oh my gosh, he's going to have an accident. But he made a lot of people cranky. People kept passing him. He just continued to look down. Don't text and drive. That's a simple way of paying it forward and making everyone happy. Leave love notes or notes of encouragement. I absolutely love this one. I have cards that I had made up that say on one side, you're good enough, worthy enough, and love, that I leave in random places. And then on the back, it just says Reawaken Your Brilliance. It doesn't have my website or anything, but I love the name Reawaken Your Brilliance. I love just putting those in random places. You could do something like that where a stranger's going to pick up the card, or you could do for your spouse, family, kids. I give my husband a card every month and I hide it in his backpack before work. And I absolutely love that because that's one of my favorite things, finding unique cards that I can just stick in there and surprise him. Volunteer. Lots of great causes out there. Whatever you support, get involved. If you want to dip your toe in, this might be a great time because they can always use extra work at the holidays. I know a lot of nonprofits are going to have that end of the year push, so they might need help stuffing envelopes for their end of the year letters asking for donations. It's hectic in the holidays. If they are a kids group, they're probably going to have gifts that need wrapping. So get out of yourself and go somewhere and volunteer. Donate money. It's a really easy way to pay it forward if you have the means to donate to those who are less fortunate than you. Something like Charity Navigator can help. I encourage you to look at that because I look at the salaries and the percent of administration fees and what they're doing with the money. Now, don't think I'm harsh or anything. I was in the nonprofit world for over a decade before starting my own business, and you can still make a living, still get a decent salary as a nonprofit person, but there are some scammers out there. It's like with the hurricane flow, you have to be really aware, who am I giving to? So I encourage you to do a little research, and that can maximize how your money can be used. And a little pitch again here for North Carolina. I'm sure South Carolina needs some help, but Texas, Puerto Rico, I'm sure Houston area haven't recovered from the hurricanes last year. I know North Carolina's got a couple years. So if you're looking for a charity to give it to, check something like that out. Those are people are going to need help for a couple years. Sorry, just going to mention it twice because I'm really passionate about it.
Do you keep saying you'll declutter, get organized, or pursue your dreams someday, but someday hasn't come? Learn how Julie Coraccio can support you at reawakenyourbrilliance.com.
Doesn't always have to be money. You could also donate food. You could go to Costco and get a bunch of things for the food pantry. Call them and say, hey, I'm making a trip to Costco. What is it that you all really need? We have a program here in North Carolina called SNAP, which is a spray neuter program for pets, and they have a little mobile unit, and they go around, and so if people can't afford to have their pets sprayed and neutered, then they can come and get it done for free from this little mobile clinic. And so my friend she's great. She fostered, and she said, I'm collecting, I'll come to your house and pick it up. I'm like, you'll come to my house and pick it up? Done deal. Send me what they need. And so I went to Costco, got a bunch of stuff, and threw in chocolates. I thought if you're doing that for free, you should have some chocolate to munch on. There are different ways to donate your money. And remember, no one way of paying it forward is better than another. I don't see someone that donates $5,000 as quote unquote better than someone who pays it forward in line at Starbucks and buys the person from behind them a cup of coffee. Because it's all about intention. It's all about the energy. What are we putting out there? And so you can have very different attitudes. Like if you have the attitude, I'm wonderful and have expectations, I need to be honored, blah, 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 you're kind of missing the entire point to this. So remember, everything makes a difference. Simply spread cheer. Give someone a compliment. This is something that I have tried to do more and more often because I'm shy. And I know some people said to me, I can't even see you being shy, but it's true. I'm at a big party. I am going to maybe find one or two people to talk to. As a nature, I'm kind of shy. And so one of the things that I've done to force myself out of being that way is to pay someone a sincere compliment. So if I'm out shopping at Target, wow, that's a really pretty blouse, or I love your hairstyle, looks so nice, or your earrings, to a genuine compliment. And again, what I love about this is I just feel we're in a place where we're so divided and so upset with each other, and giving a compliment can completely turn around someone's day. It's free. It doesn't have to cost you a dime. And so you move forward and you pay it forward. And if everyone's paying it forward, think of the energy behind that and all the awesomeness that can create. So you can give someone a compliment, help carry packages, do the Starbucks thing and buy for the person behind you coffee. You can do these for someone you know and love and see every day, or a perfect stranger. Mix it up. Have fun with it. What do you feel move from your soul to do? I guess that's what I would say. Check in. What moves you from the soul would you like to do? Little libraries. Could you start one or drop off books if there's one in your neighborhood or area? I love these. These are little libraries people started to build, and really small, maybe hold 10, 12, 20 books. And so they look remind me of little birdhouses or something. And so you drop off books you no longer want, or you can sift through and say, hey, I want to read this. And then, you pay it forward, you pay it back and bring the books back there. Or donate books to the library. Our library has a big sale each year, and because I read so many books in the library, if I'm getting rid of my permanent collection, then I want the library to benefit, or a little library. Donate blood. There's always a need for this. Now, I know I'm a typo, and I believe that's the universal one. So my understanding is, and double check that if you're O positive or negative, that there's a need for that. So consider donating blood. Mentor someone. Be a big sister or brother. Or maybe you know someone that's starting your own business and you've been in business for a while and you could mentor them in their business. Or you could offer to be a counselor on some place like SCORE, which is people who are retired in business offer advice and services through SCORE counseling. So that's another way that you can mentor. Listen. Don't ever underestimate the power of listening. I was reminded about this because I have a friend who's going through a bitter custody dispute. I've never seen anything like it. And I was trying to find some resources for her. And someone said to me, you know what? You're listening to her. And it might not seem like a lot to you, but you're doing a huge thing for her. And when I was able to step back, I was like, wow, you know what? That is true. How many times do we take the time to truly listen? Not checking our phone, not thinking about what's for dinner, not thinking about the outfit we're going to wear tomorrow. How often do we truly listen? Offer to do something for an elderly neighbor. When I lived in Los Angeles, one of the hardest things for me, not being in West Virginia near my family, was my grandmother. And she died when I was in West Virginia, but I got to see her a couple times every year. And there was a woman, a nice young couple who were my age at the time, had moved in next door to her. And the young woman was great, would always come over and talk to my grandmother. And that made such a huge impact on me that it's something that I've tried as I've moved and I'm in a neighborhood, just doing something to help an elderly neighbor. I have a guy, I'm like bringing his paper to the door, be something simple like that, bringing up the mail if they have a long driveway, or just checking in, are you okay? Do you have someone to spend the holiday with? And if they don't, consider inviting them to your home. Again, it doesn't have to be huge. It's about connecting. It's about paying it forward, getting outside of yourself. Review a business or podcast. This is a really easy way to pay it forward. I had an amazing chiropractor. I just wrote them a Google review because they were so awesome. People put so much time and effort into producing something like a podcast or their business or creating a book or service. Show your love publicly. If you're a keyboard warrior and spread doom and gloom and criticism, give us all a break by taking a break yourself during the holiday season, truly. And here is one of my favorites. Choose a family to donate gifts to. When growing up, my mother, when she had her business, one year she was talking to one of the people at the junior high that was near her office. And she said, oh, we have these families and we try to get them Christmas presents to holiday presents who aren't going to have anything. And so what was great about it is my mom wanted to do it. And then other people in the office were like, oh my gosh, we want to do it. And then she said to her hairdresser, oh, I'm doing this. And she's like, oh, wait, I want to donate something too. And so people who have nothing get an amazing, amazing holiday. And again, it doesn't have to be anything big like that. You can get books. I know there are a lot of trees that say, a girl age 8, get a book, or boy age 15. Bookstores can give you ideas if you don't know what there is. And I just think, I'm about clearing the clutter and about not having a lot of stuff. But I think around the holidays, I think it's nice if you get a gift. It's even if you're older, it's fun opening up a gift. So consider finding a family or a cause or a charity where you can donate gifts for someone. Take actions. Be open to opportunities to pay it forward. Give without any expectations to get back. Make a list of ways you would love to pay it forward. Pay it forward. This is going to be the last episode for 2018. I decided that along with the summer break, it made sense to take a break during the holidays. Now, don't worry. If you need some support, we've got over 260 episodes, so you can check back episodes. Look towards October, although I only did that one year in October, but mainly in November and December, we're definitely going to have holiday-related podcasts. So if you need a little more support, check that out. Don't forget, I have a class on the holidays that you can purchase if you need even more support. I hope everyone has a phenomenal holiday. It's the last 6 weeks of the year, so you're going to want to make a push to get done what needs to be done. I'll be back the first Tuesday in January, my friends. Haven't decided on topic of the month yet, but I'll be raring to go when we come back in January. So enjoy the holidays. I hope you have lots of treats to eat, spending time with people you love, and just being and reflecting and loving life and all that it has to offer. So here's to an amazing start to 2019, and we'll see you then. Go out, clear the clutter to create the life you choose, deserve, and desire.
Ready to live a more joyful and fulfilling life? Sign up for our newsletter at reawakenyourbrilliance.com and receive a free copy of 10 Steps to Clearing Clutter Inside and Out. If you enjoyed today's episode, please rate and review Clearing the Clutter Inside and Out. See you next Tuesday at 1 p.m.